Okay. Yeah, so last matchup, again, there's no odds favored on this one right now just yet, but Houston going to visit Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Who you got?
I got the Texans. I think the Texans defense is too much for the Steelers offense. Now, if they play like
Agreed.
they played against the Ravens, I still don't think they could take the Texans defense.
Here's what it's gonna go down to. Here's what it's gonna go down to. It's gonna go down to CJ Stroud. That's who this whole entire game is gonna be completely predicated on how well CJ Stroud plays.
Yeah,
If you get
which
an average CJ Stroud, you win the game. You just have to be average. You win the game. Simple as that.
yeah, and I mean it also really depends what Steelers defense goes out there because I've seen them perform very well where they look like the best defense in the league, but then there's also a majority of the games where they're just like total opposite. So it really also depends on what Steelers defense goes out there um, to play that game. So it's I think that side of the ball, the Steelers defense and the Texans offense, that's a more even matchup than vice versa.
Yeah. And offensively, I mean, the Texans average 24 points a game. The Steelers average 23 points a game, 23 and a half. So it's 23.8 to 23.4. So very evenly ranked offensive matchups.
Offenses,
But in terms of defense, obviously the Texans do have the better defense. But that's why I say it's going to boil down to how well CJ Stroud plays because make no mistake about it. I think that obviously Aaron Rodgers, regardless of any defense he plays, if the offensive line can keep him a clean pocket, he can carve out a defense easily. He can carve out a
yeah,
defense. Whether he's got to change protection at the line pre-snap or just kind of understanding where his players are going to be at that time. And then just kind of throwing, he definitely loves to throw those balls in tight windows. That's one of the things that he predicates himself on is his ability to do that too. Even if he doesn't change protection at the line, that's still something that he has another tool that he has in his bag that he can put on display. And so CJ Stroud. Now here's something that isn't any that nobody's really kind of mentioning, nobody's really bringing up is and I might be kind of going out on a reach with this, but what happens with CJ Stroud if he plays like shit this weekend and the Texans get eliminated? To know that your defense was so stout this year, you had basically the best defense in all of football that is Super Bowl caliber ready. And all you had to do was be average, and you couldn't even do that. And there's a lot of people that were already questioning him as it was because when he went down with the concussion and Davis Mills stepped in, Davis Mills won them 3 games in a row.
yeah,
And Davis Mills started talking about how he's respected in that locker room and then how he's also disrespected amongst other NFL teams because they kind of gloss over him because he's the backup quarterback and obviously because of the way things went down when before D'Amico Ryans got there, when he was playing with Lovie Smith. And so um, they're saying that he's a much better quarterback than what people give him credit for. Now, I bring this up because this year is year number 3, which marks all of the third year players. So like CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, all those guys who were drafted 3 years ago, this is the year where teams have the option to pick up your 5th year. And so I'm kind of curious to see if the Texans lose in the fashion that I think that they may, which is CJ Stroud not performing very well, do we look at the Texans potentially trading away CJ Stroud? And maybe I don't know. That again, that might be a reach. It might be a reach, but it's not out of a realm of possibility because I think that even most Texans fans would even agree that they've been questioning CJ Stroud since last year.
yeah.
And that they've only have that even through this year, it's only brought out more questions. I don't know. What's your take on that?
No, I mean
Am I reaching?
the I mean because but the only issue, right? They lose, and obviously if they end up wanting to trade him, I don't know how much value he would be considering teams know how he plays in the seasons, which the only great season he had was his first one.